In this particular video, we want to look at the system settings. Yes, the setting. When you log into this to the system, just go through the menu. Now, on the menu, look for setting here. Setting. Once you click on setting, this is where we are going to get to. Now, in this setting, we are going to set up three things basically. We are going to be setting up one, okay, four things. We are going to be setting up with payment channels. Now, this payment channel is the channel we are going to be using to receive payment or to make payment out. For example, your bank account. If you are maybe when people buy things from you, they pay through using POS or they pay through cash or they pay through transferring to your account. So this is where you're going to set up the kind of channels that you want to use to receive payment or to make payment. So when you click on channels, payment channel, this is what you're going to have. Currently, we have POS, bank, and cash. So basically, how to do that is to just type in what you want. For example, I say transfer, and click save. So this is actually how to set up your payment channel. So any other time you come back here, you see that you have POS, you have bank, you have cash, and you have transfer. So if you open this place and you have nothing, so you just need to start typing the channel that you are going to be using to receive payment. Like I said, you can just type in POS, you can type in bank, you can type in cash. So we're going to now configure each of them later. Like in POS, we're going to configure it under the POS terminals. For bank, we're going to configure it under bank details. And that is actually what we are going to be doing in this video. So the next thing we want to look at is bank details. So we have bank. So we go to bank details. Now, these are the details that we already have in the system. So we can add another bank detail. For example, I want to add GT. So I say GTB because I have an account in GTB, and this is the account 0131403635. Okay, sorry, account name. Account name. Let's say the account name is Account Solution, and account number is this. And after doing that, I'll click save. So I've added another account to the system so that when users want to make payment, when I receive payment, I know the account that that payment is going will be going into. In also, we can as well edit and we can also delete. In this case, I don't want to delete, so I'll just cancel. So is I can edit account that I've entered and I can as well delete. So the same thing goes with POS terminals. When I click on POS terminals, it shows me the terminals that I already have. I've already registered in the system. So what I need to enter is the terminal stand. Now, it stands for maybe it's a OPay, it's a Money Point, it's First Bank POS. So let's say it's OPay. I'll simply type OPay. Now the terminal, each of the terminal have an ID that comes with it. So whatever the ID is, I'll enter it here and click save. So I've entered an OPay terminal on the system. So it's part of the things I'm going to be using to receive payment. Then transaction settings. Now, under transaction settings, I can decide that let's say I'm the owner of the business. I'm setting this thing up, but my cashier or my salesperson is the one making the sales. I can decide that okay, for him to make a sale on credit, it requires for things that has to do with that credit. Yeah, some things doesn't require anything like that. We just make sales directly. So, but I can say if it requires credit, I want him to require to get an OTP, one-time password to execute any transaction that requires OTP. In that situation, I will just say yes, uh, it will require OTP. If I want to allow issue with discount sale and I want him to use OTP to do that, I will also activate that. I would disable it as it is, but this is actually how it works. We can have issue with credit sale, the discount sale, return goods inwards, return goods outward, refund and problem goods. So let's say a particular product you have, it has problem, it has to be registered in the system. Okay, this product has problem. So that is what problem goods stands for. Refund is a situation whereby your your customer returns something, a product he purchased, and he needs a refund. So that is actually what the refund stands for. So if you want the the cashier or the salesperson to request OTP from you before that can be done, then you now activate this particular action requires OTP. So that is actually what we do under this setting. So like I said, let me recap. You set up your payment channel, that is channel through which you receive payment or you make payment. You you define the bank details of all the banks you work with. You set up your POS terminals, and also on the transaction setting, you set up how transaction that requires approval. You want some transaction to require approval. You set up whether they require OTP or not. So that's basically what we do on that setting. And we are going to look at the next time we are going to be looking at um, opening balance to see how we can start making use of the system. Because when want to start making use of the system, we have to open balance because we assume that you've been making sales, you've been doing business. You now want to start using automated system to run your business. So you have to open up the balances you have so that the system will take cognizance of all the balance you have, the credit, your debtors and everything has to be set up properly before you can start making use of the system. So we're going to see in the next video to discuss how the opening balance works.